All right, going to be doing very first mock draft Monday. This would be the third video in the series. So I guess it's a 3.0, but I'm going to make this like a weekly analysis. Basically just see where the Patriots are in terms of the draft order, some update there. Take a look at any of the college prospects. Is anybody moving up boards? Anybody moving down boards? Anybody declaring for the draft? Returning for another year, transfer portal, injuries, etc. And then obviously going over what we just saw the previous week in the game. Is there anything new we're seeing from the Patriots roster? Any trends up, down? Any sort of indication where the priority should go in the draft, etc. So let's get into it. Let's just start it. I'm not going to spend too much time talking this time. They should be a top 5. Oh, they're 4. All right. So first thing I want to make note of with being the 4th pick overall, I think obviously trading back is a strong likelihood. I think they should. Based upon like watching some of the other football games this past year, like the majority of the NFL has like terrible quarterback play. So, and there's some of them that need a quarterback just period at this point. Like they have nothing but backups on their roster. So it's going to be, if they're going to be, top 3 would be better, but if they're even at 4, I'm sure they can probably get some draft capital for trading back. How far? Not sure. But like right now, Carolina would be one thing. Jets are going to need them. Browns are going to need one. I'm not even like kind of like flat out 100% need to draft a quarterback. So even at 4, they can probably get something. And if they can get a second, like obviously get their trade back for the first and then like pick up a second and third, that would be big, because when looking at this draft class, each position group has like a few guys that are pretty solid. And for the Patriots, they need upgrades at almost every position minus Drake, Gonzo, and then 4 or 5 other guys that are, pretty solid, NFL quality players. But a good chunk of the roster and some of the guys you have starting could easily be replaced. And I hate to say it because I'm a fan here. I want them to be good, but we're just not seeing the development this year. A lot of people point to some of the wide receivers looking a little better. I think it's Drake. And that's the thing. I'm not saying I'm not bashing on the wide receivers. It's just we're not seeing a crazy amount of development from the wide receivers this year. It's just Pop's getting the ball a lot earlier, which is allowing him to turn and make some moves and get some yak, rather than waiting for Mac Jones's frisbee to finally get to him. Booty can finally get the ball because Drake can rifle it down the field. So I think, again, I'm not bashing on the wide receivers. So I just think Drake is being able to get the ball to them and actually unlock them, allow them to catch the ball in stride, right? And not just have to sit there and get nailed. So, wide receivers a situation to talk about. We also have to, offensive line's a situation. D-line, D-tackle's one thing. Gonna need another. Quality's not looking great this year. Not terrible, but that's something if you can find an upgrade there, not bad. Safety, Hawkins had an issue. Duggard's been not looking great. Peppers, with the new update, just so you know, I think that's just, he's been off the list, not because of some decision. It's just how long the suspension is. So he's off the list because he served the suspension, but he can be put right back on it. As far as my understanding, what I've read thus far. But anyway, there's just almost every position, even tight end. I know a lot of guys want to point that Hunter Henry's been doing right and Hooper's been doing well, and we just got Bell. But guys, we don't have an inline blocking tight end, which is important. You need somebody to help you out. Corners, I like Marcus Jones in the slot. I don't want him on the perimeter, right? That's been a problem. The last few weeks, it's just where's Marcus Jones? Go after him. So Yeah, just about everything. Linebackers, I mean, hopefully Bentley comes back. You know, Tavai's doing his best as he can. Taki, I guess, you know, here, there. But a linebacker that has some, like, legitimate sideline speed, sideline to sideline speed, and some pass rush, if there's somebody sitting right there, you don't have that. You got to go and do it. So, just about everything, you need it. So, I'd rather have, you know, maybe trade back and maybe not get exactly who you're looking for in the first round, but if you can get me like a starting level, you know, linebacker and a tight end out of that instead as well, in addition to, I'd rather do that. So that's where I'm at right now, because I don't think there's a clear, like, absolute need. You just need to get starters. It's not even getting really true specifics anymore. You have holes, like literally positions, nobody's there to hit that quality of standard of being a starter. So I know there's more, like, trust me, I live on valuations for my work, but like, you got to start filling the portfolio in some way. You got to start somewhere. You don't, and you're going to sit here and be apprehensive about picking good players. You just got to go and do it, right? So anyway, let's get into it. I'm sorry it took too long already. Big board real quick. Someone mentioned to go check out NFL Draft Buzz. I don't mind their big board, but the simulator is just, it's just too much. I tried it. It's too much. This is still clean. Ooh, they moved Mike Green up a lot. If you guys haven't watched Mike Green, trust me, I'm gonna do a video. It might be my next one, but when I get around to it, Mike Green's a freak. Plus, he can play some linebacker. Gray Zabel, he's next on my list here. Been watching him. Anybody from North Dakota or South Dakota State in terms of offensive line is always solid. Plays tackle, guard, and can play a little center as well. So, not that I would pick him first, but if you're looking for, you know, taking a top level offensive lineman and then getting somebody that can fill in a hole legitimately, Graves could probably be your guy. Any other big names being moved up or down that I can remember? Xavier Watts at 78 would be a steal. Jordan Birch too. Ashton. Let's take a quick look at offensive tackle just so we have an idea when they're going to start to take these off the board. And this is what I'm talking about, why if you can get a second or third out of trading back, I don't mind thinking that I can possibly get one of these guys and still be like, hey, these guys probably could still play starting offensive tackle next year on the team if you're still in the top, say, 50 or 60. So if you miss on the one that you definitely wanted to get, you can probably still get one. And even if everybody went crazy on offensive tackles, you would probably say, like, the rest of the, like, say all the way down to like Emory Jones, all these guys go in the first, and you don't pick one in the first, you're going to get choice of a really good corner or an edge or a D tackle. Sucks that you missed out, but you're probably going to get a chance to at some other not your blue chip, but first round talent well into the second, possibly third round if people rush this hard on an offensive tackle. Running back is obviously very loaded this year, and it's been a long time since I remember like running backs being this deep. To go back to like the Cadillac Williams days. But which is interesting because like I like Khalil. He's from Boston. If I can get him literally with the last pick in the draft, that's crazy. Marcus Yarn's a good third down back. Plenty of guys in here that are worthy of being drafted that are probably not going to be drafted this year. Raheem Sanders, it's another good one. Edge. I really like Abdul. James Pierce would be a steal. Michael Williams, Scourton, sorry. He's a freak. He's like 6'4", 280 something. You wouldn't think he weighs like 280. You'd think he'd be like 240. Princely's awesome. Like, this edge class here is solid. And Landon Jackson, big D tackle, D end. JT and Jack Sawyer. So edge is good for a while. Like, I'm good with these guys all like 79 all the way down to. I like Danny and Antoine and Ivy and Barron more than I probably like these two, but maybe I'll have to watch these guys some more. So like that's probably, although I'd like to get edge, this is probably where the valuation goes through the roof for these guys. If you can get them at like 104 or even maybe 140, if you can get like say Antoine at 142, we can try that. That could be a strategy. I mean, maybe some other ones if they make it out of the first. Corners. Will Johnson. I heard he actually, I mean, I saw that he is going to be putting his name in the draft. I haven't really talked about him because I thought he tore up his knee really early, so I thought he was going to return. But we'll see if he actually goes in, I guess. But he would be interesting if he's still there in the second. Especially if it looks like his knee's looking good. But Takaro Davis, Trey Amos, and then Davidson. If you can get them, Takaro, if I would consider even him at like 36. But if you can get him at 68, or one of these guys at 83, that's a steal. Wide receivers, let's take a look. No major updates. Here's the thing, like, I want to get Tet, but if you can get me a Mika or Isaiah at the top of the second, or Trey Harris at like 68. Jalen Roll, Evan Stewart, I think he might go back. Then after, if Kyron Lacey, he's alright, but after Evan Stewart, I kind of get a little. Gets very developmental, right? Like Savvy. Jaden, I would like, he would be alright, 105 or 142. There's a big body. Lester, Ricky White, Jalen Knoll. These guys are, that's a good value right here. So if you want to pick up another wide receiver towards the end, that would be pretty good. Tight end. I honestly, at this point, I think they would go the other way. I think Tyler Warren's just too much of a full service. Colston's not much of an athletic freak. Tyler's a freak, and same thing with Harold. Although I like Colston, he had a great year last year, and the quarterback play at Michigan's atrocious this year. Harold Fannin, if you can get him at 83, that'd be good. Tyler, if you can get him at 36, that'd be a steal. Same thing with Colston. I'd take both these guys in the second. And then down here, this grouping is nice. These are good too. You can get those at the end. See, like, the value, it's this middle round where you're like, you might have a shot at something, but a lot of these guys, I guarantee you, if you're like being told you're going to be like 142 to like 180 and you're a junior, you're probably like, man, if I just go back one more year, I'm instantly going to be a second round pick, and maybe even a first if I can put a good year in. All right, let's get into it. I'm sorry, I always do this, but let's get it done. So let's start it, and gonna probably look to trade. I'm not even gonna think about sticking with it. Whew, that would be a good pickup. Yeah, why not? Okay. Anybody want to double that up? Make it a little more interesting? No, not really. All right, so Mason Graham, Will Johnson, Will Campbell, Kelvin Banks. So Abdul's gone. Tet's still on the board too. I'm still more of a Will Campbell guy because I think he can play a little bit, like, if need be, he can probably play a decent guard and tackle if you need him to. So, for example, if Cole Strange really is your center, or if he's your left guard, period. Like, if you think he's good enough to be your left guard going forward, Kelvin Banks might be your best prospect. But if you think like Cole Strange might have to be your center of the future, leaving Michael Jordan as your left guard, I wouldn't hate them getting Will Campbell and having him at left guard if Vidarian Lowe still holds up a little bit towards the end of the season. But if he's just flat out better than Vidarian Lowe, then there you go. You have a left tackle. Like, I mean, see what I'm saying? Whereas Kellen Banks, he still slips off tackles. I just don't like seeing it. He's really good. He's really good. Totally worth a first-round draft pick. All these people that get like, oh yeah, and they reference the Georgia. It's like great. Nobody's perfect, right? Even Joe Alt had some bad games last year. Now not that egregious, but like, yeah. I mean, even first-round draft picks have some bad like games. Give him a break. Will Campbell, same thing there. Calm down. Stop being so dramatic, really, actually. People are so negative all the time. Anyway, so what should we do? I'm going to go Will Campbell. Because I know he's not bad. And he can definitely block in space, which, like I said, a little bit of concern with that with Kelvin. Alright, so do I go... Yeah, I'd probably go with Tyler. So we get at least somebody with some offensive talent going here. Edge I want to get, but I think we might get better value with Edge if I can pick up a decent one in either at 68 or in this 107 area, 105, 107. Tight end I'm going to lose out on, so I'm going to go with Tyler. You might hate that. Really, honestly, tell me we don't need somebody who can catch the ball and block. Because we do. Wow, Wyatt's still there. That's interesting. Derek Harmon's still there. That's also quite interesting. Alright, let's take a look at quarterback, wide receivers, edge, and then corners. Jack Sawyer, wouldn't mind that. Donovan Jackson's not a bad idea too. He's pretty good. Jihad Campbell, now that's underrated, because if I can't him, because he's got pass rush and he's an actual linebacker. Wide receiver real quick. Oh, Trey Harris is still on the board. 68. Who do I want now that's not gonna make it to 68? Jack Sawyer. Ooh, Amanda Mori. Ooh, let's take a look at safety. Xavier Watson 68 is probably a better value, but man, Nick Amanawari can do everything. Oh, you know what? I'm doing it. That was tough. I thought he'd be gone. I should have looked him up earlier. Alright, let's see what we got here. Jihad Campbell. Give me a speed rusher and some linebacker help. Corner. Delane's pretty good. He's still there. Maybe he'd be there at 83. Really pushing off wide receiver here, but trying to see if I can get maybe. We'll see. Harold Perkins is good, but he's like 6 foot, like 223. I'm gonna go with Jihad. Jihad's a freaking monster. So, again, It says linebacker, but he can pass rush. He can sack. He can do a lot of things. Ooh, still holding up here, guys. Kennard, I haven't watched enough to really have a conviction on him. Amari and Hampton's not bad. Zabel would probably be smart too. Now give me a guard and some tackle depth. I'm still probably... shit. Probably could have held off for somebody else, but I think I really like how he plays. Ashton. There's your edge. Wide receiver. Jaden Higgins at 142 or Ty Felton. That would be good for me. Juice Wells. Okay. I'm still actually pretty good with that. I have to watch more on him, Prather. Nick Anderson, I think, is starting to heat up a little bit. Really slow start this year. D tackle is also here. Running back, not yet. Offensive line help. Let's look at interior off. Oh, Belton's still there. All right, now we gotta go to wide receivers. Him down this far is nuts too. Oh, beautiful. I forgot they have Charles Grant as interior offensive lineman. Shit. So there's a big bodied X, and if I can get, I wouldn't mind going after Fulton if I can get him. Oh, we have two in a row. Let's take a look at D tackle. Talking with Jim Nagy, a lot of these guys that are here, that are juniors or have another year, probably going to be going back. Because the D tackle is actually a pretty deep group this year. I'm going to miss out on Ron Gadsden. I'm trying to see if there's like Stowers or Bryson Nesbitt could be another big body receiver to pick up later on as a tight end. Although they are tight end, they're just, 6'4", 6'5", 220, 230 receivers. Saab, that wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I guess I might go Charles Grant here. Yeah, I think that's smart. Because he can play, he plays tackle right now, and I think I wouldn't, him at 143 as an actual tackle, I wouldn't hate either. Massive wingspan. All right, so D tackle, another receiver. Gel, yeah, like this 1, 2. Not sure about Phil Maffa or Maffa, but 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd love to get. Same thing with Logan Jones. D-tackle wise, yeah. And then Logan Jones for center. We got how many more? 2 more. Probably go with Kenny Gallup here. I like Gabe Akis is, it's probably hard to, I mean, oh man, he can freaking move. Speed edge rusher. I mean, we got Ashton, but he's more of a bigger dude. Maybe that's probably a better move. Because you can play some linebacker. I know you have Jihad in there, but no, you know what? I think Kenny Gallup's probably a smarter move here. Because between Hawkins and Duggar and questions with Peppers, I mean, like Del Pettis and Mapu, I mean, it's like, I mean, I hate to be doing that, but it's like reality check. Like, we got to really consider what's going on with that safety group. It performs well, but oh man, did we miss out on Cole? Oh no, there he is. Not my favorite, but if that was to happen, I'd be happy. Right? So upgrade a position at offensive tackle, right? Or guard. Big inline blocking tight end that can be split out. Does just about everything on the offense. Just a big bodied receiver. Freakish safety. Good ball hawking skills. Has no problem attacking line of scrimmage. I don't know what you would say there. If he's, you know, backup for Duggar, Hawkins, or Peppers, or whatever. Freakish athlete, gets everywhere, knows how to play deep or in the box. It's fine. Jihad Campbell, linebacker, needs some help there. Needs somebody who's super freakishly athletic and, like I said, has some speed, pass rush. Davison, no one's going to outrun him. Super long, physical, a little bit grabby, needs some development, but at that point in the draft, that's kind of what you're looking for, right? Somebody who's got some upside. I mean, Marcellus Dial, not really sure what that guy's about. Ashton. Bigger, he's like 6'3", 6'4", but he's like 280, 270, 280. Absolute monstrously powerful. Good edge setter. He might be, and he's not Keon White. He's a little bit, he's got a little more flex and bend into him. You know, actually, he's probably pretty close to Judon until in terms of his play style. He puts his hand down a little bit more, and he can work inside as a D tackle a little bit more. But I guess in terms of like, he's heavy-handed, but he can move, and he's very savvy. Belton, definitely. I mean, if you get Belton at 107, that's a steal. Same thing with Higgins, big body receiver, great hands, very competitive. That would be a steal at 142. Charles Grant, they have him at interior offensive line. That's fine if that's what you want to do with him, but you know, he plays tackle, very athletic, and if you want to move him inside, go ahead and move him inside. He's just a really good offensive lineman. And then Peebles, really, I mean, just absolute freak in terms of power, good hip extension, sheds blocks. Kenny Gallup, again, I understand having 2 safeties, but I think that might be an issue this year. He was just a value pick, and then Khalil was just taking advantage of that really stupid deep running back class. Probably most years would be, you know, probably 4th rounder at you know, maybe at worst. So getting him at 241, massive steal. Big dude too, by the way. He's like 6'3", 240. And by the way, he's got good numbers. They're not crazy, but I just want to remind you, like, Michigan has like basically no passing this year. Like, they know when he's on the field, like, they just load up the box. So, very underrated running back. He probably won't make it to 241, but I'm just playing the game. Let's just try this one more time. It'll be a lot quicker. And we'll end it. And I know a lot of people probably hate what I'm doing, but I'm just doing this on the fly. Just having some fun too. Yeah, see this one, I mean, I would like to get something else, but I think the value's there. And it actually makes sense to me. Alright, so what did we do first? We did, jeez. See, that's tempting. Yeah, let's do it. It's unrealistic now, but let's just see what happens when you move a little further back outside the top 10. So you still get a shot at Will Campbell. Luther Burden. Starks is good. I have him as borderline blue chip. Scarton is good too. Jalen Walker. Lots of good edge there. So that's the thing. I'm like, it's thankfully you can move pretty far back and still get a shot at a lot of people you need. I think it's maybe that what I just did, which is trade back twice to pick up that, is totally in play. Because let's see what that does. I'd love to be able to afford to get Ginty, but we can't. Yeah, so let's do Will. I hate to do. Let's just do Will Campbell again. Same reasoning. Something on the offensive line will be upgraded within there. Mika, beautiful. This is actually this is what my dream scenario is right now. Anyway, two really high caliber players. Denzel Burke, yeah. Donovan Jackson's a really good pickup too. Gonna go Nick again. See what we get for corner here. Oh, J.D. Barron here. Oh yeah. Ooh, Maxwell Hairston's still in play. Patrick Payton for edge is not a bad move. Derek Carter, kinda. I'm actually considering maybe getting either doubling up on the safety with Watts now. Take a look at interior offensive line. Membo, we can go after. These two are, right now, both these guys play tackle. And if they think they need to move them inside, that's fine. Take a chance at getting Belton at 98 again. Leonard Barton's good too. Alright, we're going to be looking for edge here. Again, I can't say much about Kennard. I know he's got good stats. Just haven't watched him enough. These two I'm good on. But if I can wait one more for him. And if I miss, I'm also really happy with them at the 100s. This grouping here. Here's the thing. The best player out of these is either Hairston or Watts. I'm going to go with Watts. Oh. Now here's the thing. The fact that Patrick Payton's still there. I'm going to go with that. Let's see what we got. Did we get... Still got Belton. Belton's engaged. Gotcha. Alright, so tackle. Not gonna get one of my guards, am I? What is with this thing? Come on. Oh, still got Membo? Game over. So Membo again plays right tackle now for Missouri, and it's a no-brainer if he's there. Oh, Kalen King's got Kobe King getting some respect finally. I shouldn't even say respect, being 219. Now Seth being this far down, he blew his Achilles. I'd hate to grab him, but not to grab him, but we can't. So Patrick Payton. Maybe we can take Akis now. We also need to consider linebacker. Jason Dumas is good too. Let's take a look at pure linebackers. Tyrone Powell. Not great. Maybe I go with John. Besides Tyrone. Yeah, the rest of them are not looking great. I might have to go with that. Just on. I would like to get Akis though. He plays linebacker, but he's not like a true. Same thing with David Bailey. He plays some linebacker as well. Shoot. All right, I'm gonna have to go. He's a legit linebacker. Not a big thumper, but go here. Maybe I get some D tackle. I think for the last one, right? I don't think that's going to be a big deal. I mean, we're missing out on running back, but there's been so many. At this point, let's actually make a good assessment. But I need... Oh, yeah, here we go. So, Zane or Riley? Tonka Hemingway's pretty good, too, but I like Riley Mills as a play. And the same thing with Zane. He can just play everywhere. He's pretty good too. Same thing with Eric Gregory. This whole group is pretty solid. Joshua Farmer too. Yeah, lots of deals that are gonna get left over or go back. Like Otis. Oh my gosh. Parashand. Some good names down here. Lee Hunter. He's pretty freaking good too. I think this is his last year of eligibility too. Yeah, there's a lot of dudes there. I mean, not down this far, but there was some decent names in there that... Patrick Jenkins, I think this is his senior year too. I think Riley Mills is the way to go there, though. He's a 6'5", 320, just big monster. Can do a lot of different things. That was a good draft. A lot of, repeats there. But to talk this over... I think there's a possibility that you can go after it off. Like, here's the thing. The Patriots do need a big-bodied X. Maybe T. Higgins is the answer there, right? And that kind of moves the big-body X off the board because that's what T. Higgins really is. So then looking for an offensive lineman, there's several of them that you can get in the first or second round. Pick one of those. But then to think about, yeah, you still need some wide receiver depth, though, right? Or just upgrade, sorry. Between Osborne and, I mean, Booty's doing right here and there. You know, obviously Pop is solid. You know, Bourne looking better, but I don't know how much longer we have with him. There might be a possibility you can get Mika, Buka, Isaiah Bond, and then Trey Harris in that early second round, and it'd be worth it. All of them. I mean, Bond's a little, was he 6'2"? I think he's 6 foot, like near 200. I like him. I mean, here's the thing, is crazy part, like with how many wide receivers they had last year. Like Xavier Word, I don't know what the Chiefs are doing. Like Xavier, I said this the last one. Like to me, I say Bond's better at what Xavier Worthy's supposed to be. It's relatively the same speed, especially when we look at power index, because I think Bond has about 25 pounds on him. But bigger hands, better route running for the most part. I shouldn't say that. Like Worthy's got his moves and stuff like that, but he can't. I'm just not seeing it with the Chiefs this year. And he's got baby hands, guys. Like he's got that. Like he's got like hands of like sixth graders, and it shows up once in a while. Even with like modern day gloves, he still drops the ball. And like I said, there's a reason why that guy did like the 40 and that's it. Didn't do any like field drills. Didn't do the gauntlet. You know. So I think Bond has no problem with that. And I think his hands are fine. So him and me, if I can get Mika, Buka, or Bond or Trey Harris in the second round, that's a big win. I know he went after Tyler Warren twice. Every week, I know we have quote unquote we're good on our tight ends, but they were one of the reasons. Like honestly, tight ends and running backs. We went to the offensive line with like the sacks and the penalties this past weekend. There are some times where our tight ends and running backs were just like completely whiffing or messing up the assignment. Now that doesn't mean we need to get rid of the tight ends and like I hate them all. No, but like Tyler Warren is 6'6". I think he's like 260. Strong as an ox. Like I'm not saying he's a great blocker because his technique is not great, but like I'm not gonna worry about having a guy who's only 30 pounds short of a tackle out there helping out. So I think that's something to look at. I went after Amanda Wari again. If you don't know who he is, look him up. Watch him. Watch how he plays. The guy's just all over the place. It's like the guy's basically doing flying 30s all over the field. Baron Good's corner. That was great to pick him up that late. That was a steal. Again, Xavier Watts, although a safety, different play style compared to Amanda Wari. Much more of a free safety, good ball hawk, but also has a good vision. Patrick Payton, solid edge rusher. Anthony Belton, that's a really great value offensive tackle. If he's really there, I mean, even if you got Will Campbell off the board already, like I think he's one of your best hands fighters out of the tackles. His hands are awesome, really good with striking. Decent, he's athletic too, but decent footwork. Also, great backstory. Armand Membo, again, supposed to be he's a right tackle right now for Missouri, but if you really, I think he's 6'3". I think he's high 200, so maybe he is more of a guard at the next level. But his reach is crazy. His arm length is insane. He's got, like I said the last time, like he's very similar to Onwenu, where like Onwenu was like 6'3", but his arm length is crazy. Same thing with Membo, very similar, like still 6'3", arm length forever. So I wouldn't mind him as being essentially a backup right tackle, but then working in at guard. Finally fixing the mistakes from these last few years of drafting okay guards and not finally getting a starting quality level guard. Linebacker, like him, and then Gabe Yakis, probably not going to really be. He's young, so if he's being told he's going to be in the 200s, he's probably going to go back. Riley Mills, solid backup, D tackle, but utility. You can move him anywhere on the line, he can play it. Anyway, so I'm going to end it there. Probably way too long, I apologize. But thanks for watching, I guess, our first mock draft Monday. Again, I'll try to do it again next Monday and keep this up for the remainder of the season, just so we can at least get, an idea what the draft order is looking like. Again, going over what we're seeing in college football, and of course, just discuss what we're seeing with the Patriots. I promise this will get more and more concise as the season progresses and as we get into the draft part of the season. And we'll probably do more of strategy sessions at that point rather than going through endless amounts of drafts. All right. If you guys, like this content, please like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.